Hello and welcome to this muffin making blender beginner tutorial where we are going to model the muffin as in part 1 of this series. The blender beginner series tutorial is divided into 4 major parts. In level 1 we will check modeling, sculpting, materials, lighting and rendering tools, while in level 2 we will look into particles, UV unwrapping, procedural texturing and displacement. Then level 3 we will deal with precision modeling and photo texturing. Lastly, in level 4 we will check photorealism and rendering. So all the tutorial series are very easy and simple to follow, and you will learn tools that you will use again and again in your upcoming Blender projects. So let's get started. So to start with the muffin modeling, first select the cube and you can delete it. I'll activate the hotkeys so that you can follow. So down here you can see what keys that I'm currently using. Also you can use this as a tip for a shortcut. So to start, press Shift A and then go to Mesh. Then here there is a circle option, click on it. Okay, so before you do anything else, now the circle is added. Down here you can see here there is a button, Add Circle, so click on it. And here you can see the number of vertices for this circle, and the radius dimension is currently 1 meter, so this is unrealistic for a muffin. So I have done some research on this. So the bottom part of the muffin usually has a radius of 0.03 meter. So I'll enter that. You can follow along. Alright, now the circle disappears, but it's due to dimension. So what you need to do is just press the dot key on your keyboard and it will be zoomed in to the selected specific object. Here on the right side also you can see the circle is currently selected. Okay, so once you enter the radius dimension, now you can click on this one. So if by any chance, let's say, let me delete this one. If when you add a circle, by any chance, if you click on this one, so this box, dialog box, disappears. So to avoid that, don't click anywhere after you add a circle. So once more, Mesh, Shift A, Mesh, Circle. Then you go here and adjust the radius. Alright. Okay, now we can select the circle and press the Tab key on your keyboard to go to edit mode, or otherwise you can click here and select the edit mode here. This is the object mode and this is the edit mode. So the shortcut key for this is to press the Tab key. Alright, now here on the edit mode there are 3 viewing options. The dot option, which shows the vertices, that shows you the vertices, and here the line option. If you click on this, now this object has a single line, and this one is the face option. Currently it doesn't have any face, but we'll see throughout the tutorial. I'll show you the use of it. So let's go back to the vertices viewing mode. Okay, now I want to increase the number of vertices. So right click on it and subdivide. Here also a dialog box down here appears. You can increase the number of cuts like this. But for now, I just want to apply this operation once. So I leave it at that and click here. So now you can see the number of vertices has multiplied. All right. Now we can start extruding this. Press E to extrude along the Z direction. Press Z and the blue line here appears. Now you can move your mouse upward like this for extrusion. When you left click, a dialog box down here appears and you can give it a dimension here on the Z direction, how much height you want. So for now, I'll just apply 0.01 height. Okay. Now we have this one. Now what we can do, press F3 and search for checker. Checker deselect. Okay. So select this option and down here on the bottom you can see the dialog box. This is just varying the number of selections, but for now leave it at the default value 1. So what this does is it selects every other vertices. Okay. Now press S and then you can scale this like this one and click and you can finish it. Okay, now we have different type of grooving going on around here. Okay, now it's time to extrude this further. We are modeling the holding cup now. All right. So you can press Alt, hold Alt, and then click on specific vertex, and this operation selects the entire vertices along this one. So once again, the operation is press Alt and left click on this point. Let me do it again. You have to click on the vertex. Now you can see it has selected everything. Okay, now press 1 to go to the front view like this, and now press E to extrude and press Z to extrude it along the Z. Now you can move your mouse upward like this. Okay, now to give it a specific dimension, you can use my numbers. I've done some research on the size of the muffin cup. So for this value, let's enter 0.04 meter. Okay, so while these vertices are selected, press S for scaling and move your mouse like this. So this will give it like the top part will be like wider, like most cups. All right. I think that's enough. Okay. Now you can we can go to the line view here like this, and down here the same way, press Alt and left click on the edge part of this line, and this selects everything on the bottom. So I want to close this one, so for this just press F on your keyboard, and this fills in the face of the bottom part. Alright, now let's go to the object mode. Here you can select the object mode, or another option is press the tab key, and this takes us to the object mode. Okay, so let's see what we have done so far. Okay. Now it looks like we have modeled the cup holder which holds the muffin in place. I think it's made up of paper or something like that. So okay, but we can see here the edges are really sharp, so we need to smooth this the sharp parts. So for that I can apply subdivision. Before I apply, let's go back to the edit mode by pressing tab key, and here you can see I have a line, but in this part there is no horizontal line. So for appropriate mesh structure there needs to be a line. So for this, move your cursor somewhere here and press Ctrl R. This brings up the yellow line. Now you can left click once and the line changes into orange. Now you can move your mouse up and down to select the position you want the line to rest. So first I want to put some line here. Okay, I can repeat the process, Ctrl R to add some more lines. Left click, I'll add some line around here. Okay, again Ctrl R, left click, something like this. Yeah. Alright, now let's go back to object mode by pressing tab key. Okay, now while this is selected, go to the modifier tab here, which looks like a wrench, and here you have the option to add modifier. So click on it, and this brings up various options. So the most usual important operator that we use in the modifier is the subdivision surface. So let's select this one. Now a subdivision operation has been performed. As you can see, our cup has changed. The sharp edges have somehow reduced. Not yet, it's not quite there yet, but it's getting better now. This is because more subdivision mesh has been added. Also here you can see this is a subdivision. It's not applied yet currently. If you close this one, the subdivision operation won't be applied, and it will go back to its original phase. So we need to apply it. Click on subdivision surface. Alright, one thing also, you can also increase the number of subdivisions here. For instance, I can increase this value, the levels viewport. You can see while I increase this value, the smoothness of this object increases, as you can see. It has significantly become smoother than it was moments ago. If you want to see the mesh, you can go to the edit mode by pressing tab key. Okay, I can turn off this subdivision surface by clicking on this screen icon. This was the original, and if I click on this one, you can see how much it has improved. So let's go back to the object mode. Alright, another thing also, this object will need some kind of thickness. So let's add some thickness. Again, you can select this and then go to the add modifier tab, and here you have the option to solidify. So click on it, and now it looks like it has become too thick. This so we need to decrease the thickness of this value, because the cap is usually a kind of paper material, so it won't be realistic if we use this one. This looks actually like a real cap. So what you can do is down here you have the solidify modifier added here. So here there is an option for thickness. I can decrease this value. Okay, so it's 0.01. I'll add another 0 here. Okay, now you can see now the thickness. This looks more realistic, so I'll leave it at that. Okay. Alright. Also, you can select it and apply a shade smooth operation. So select shade auto smooth, and this will smooth the surface further. Now it's getting smoother and smoother, and that's a good thing. Okay, now let's apply the subdivision, the modifier operations. So to apply, you can click this arrow and click on apply. Now it's applied. You can see the thickness. It's quite right for a paper, so this will do. And here also you can apply this, or another way is to use Ctrl A. Put your cursor around here and then press on Ctrl A, and that applies the modifier. Alright, looks like the cap is all done. So once we model the cap, the next thing is to model the muffin. So for that, we can use already existing objects, like you can go to mesh and choose the UV sphere. It's quite large now. You can scale it down by pressing S and then move your mouse like this to scale down. So it's still too big, so I'll press again S again and scale it down. Alright, so we can move it up using G and Z. So we can shape this sphere so that it can resemble a muffin. Let's scale it down along the Z, S and Z. This will give it like the top view of the muffin. You can bring it down using G and Z. Okay, somewhere around here. Alright, now it's looking nice. Go to Edit tab, and for to go to Extreme mode, press Alt Z, and now you can see the shape of the sphere. Select the bottom part while it's on the vertices mode, the bottom half. Now we can delete this and delete faces. Okay. Now we can select the bottom vertices like this, and you can scale it down if you want to fit in the cap, just a little bit like this. You don't have to be super accurate about it, but the important thing is the muffin should not be extending outside the cap boundaries. So extrude E and move it along the Z-axis and scale it down using S to fit in the cap. Again, E to extrude along the Z, and S scale down. So now we are modeling the muffin inside the cap. E to extrude again, and along the Z, and S scale down. We can go further. E to extrude, and along the Z, and S to scale down. You can follow the hotkeys that are displayed on the bottom right corner of the screen. Alright, I think that looks good. Okay, let's go to object mode. Now we cannot see the inside because it's hidden within the cap. If you want to see it, we can hide the cap for display. You can move the muffin up and down to fit in perfectly. You can scale it down, scale it up and down for better visualization. So this is how it looks. Now all parts are contained in the cap. Select the cap and we can hide it using H to hide. Now you can see the bottom part is open, so we need to close it. Go to Edit tab and select the bottom vertices. To select, you can press Alt and left click on a single point that selects the whole region, and press F to fill in the gap. It gives it a face. Now it's a closed object. Go back to object mode and hide the cap using Alt and H. Now we can shade smooth. Select it and right click and shade auto smooth. Now it gives it the appearance of a smooth surface. Okay, so our muffin is getting better and better and looking more realistic now, but still lots of work to be done. So on the edge of the cap, if the muffin is kind of fitting over the cap, that's okay. That's a more natural look. So while you do this, you can go back and refer your muffin picture. Make sure you have a muffin picture to use as a reference while you do this. Alright, so it looks like the basic modeling part is done. We have modeled the cup and the muffin itself, and it's almost looking like a muffin now, but still there's a lot of work to be done. Like if you see, most muffins are not like smooth like this one, so we'll try to create some realistic look, regular shapes, using a sculpting mode on our next episode. So thank you for watching for this tutorial. I'll see you next time for the sculpting part, where we can sculpt the muffin and the cup to make it look more appear realistic.